Eagles. Eagles.
And welcome in, everybody, to a Monday edition of Birds 365 here across JAKIB Sports. The Eagles are NFC East champions, back-to-back for the first time since 2004 after their big win on Saturday, 5 p.m.
Big win.
Got the win. Big win over Josh Johnson. John, how you doing on this Monday morning, brother?
Big one. That's one of the biggest ones of the Nick Sirianni era. No, just joking. But, hey, first step, knock down the domino. NFC East champs, move on. Keep going. Try to get a better seed, which is unlikely. At least the competition is raised. Although I tell you, every time there's something about it. You know, Josh Allen hurts his foot in that game.
Yeah.
Has to get an X-ray. Now, did come back in, so obviously it's not too serious, but maybe getting banged up. And they struggled with the Cleveland Browns, so I don't think Buffalo's as good as people think. I've been saying that for a while, but we'll see. Josh Allen is certainly as good as people think, but he might be a little bit limited, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll see how that shakes out. Eagles should be getting Lane Johnson back. I think they'll get Jalen Carter back. And then you're at full strength and ready to roll for the playoffs. And again, injury, Jordan Love. Look, Green Bay was going to beat Chicago in Chicago.
Yep, they were.
So, again, that's not daunting if you have to go to Chicago. You have to worry about, Caleb Williams making certain plays that other people can't make. I'm not saying they're not dangerous, but boy, I think that's a pretty good matchup if you have to go on the road in week 2. And week 2 of the playoffs. So, but we'll see how it shakes out. 5 teams in the NFC, 3 are new that have clinched already. So the only proven teams are the Eagles and the Rams. And the Packers are basically in, so they'd be in that group.
Yeah, they have a 92% chance to make the playoffs. Lions lost, so that's Lions are basically out. They lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, guys, 5 teams now, as John pointed to. 5 teams in the NFC, John, are locked up. So this playoff picture is coming into play here. Seahawks the 1 seed, obviously, right now. Bears are the 2 seed, as John just mentioned. They beat the Packers this weekend in a crazy game. Eagles are the 3 seed after winning the NFC East. Rams right now are the 5 seed, and the Niners are the 6 seed. And all of those teams are solidified in the playoffs. The 2 remaining are the NFC South champion, which will look like it'll be the Panthers. They beat the Buccaneers, and then the Packers, as you mentioned. So, John, the playoff picture is coming into sights here for the Philadelphia Eagles after the win on Saturday. And you know what? I am going to call it a big win, John. Big win. The NFC East, man. I mean, so it's the first time that's happened since 2004. I think Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, as the leaders of the ship, deserve a lot of credit for that.
Whoa, let's not go too far. Let's not give the head coach credit.
Head coach and quarterback got to get credit, man. They got to get credit. They are the captains, as I mentioned, of the ship, and that's 5 straight playoff appearances, J-Mac, and now 3 NFC East titles with these guys. So they definitely deserve some credit, and I will give them that credit.
Yeah, well, I'm being facetious. I hope everybody realizes, because it's rare that you have this kind of run in the NFL, and that's borne out. That's one of the reasons I said 3 new teams in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's hard to be consistent from year to year to year in this league. So many things can derail you. So when you're able to make the postseason 5 consecutive times, it's impressive. And the Eagles deserve a lot of credit for that. More credit than they're probably getting from most fans, at least the coaches, but it's hard to do. And you'll see the same thing next year. And the Eagles will probably be one of the teams that repeat and get to the postseason again. So, and again, number one, Detroit is not going to make the playoffs. If they lose on Christmas Day, which is unlikely, but if they lose on Christmas Day, they're going to be a 4th place team. And if they're a fourth place team, I'm going to guarantee right now they're going to make the playoffs next year. That's how volatile this league is.
Who is that will be a fourth place team?
If they lose on Christmas, which is unlikely.
The Lions?
Yes.
Yeah, the Lions.
They're going to be a fourth place team.
Yeah, I'll tell you on that. If they lose on Christmas, I'll tell you on that they're going to make the playoffs next year.
Yeah. So it's hard, and injuries play a large part. And the Eagles have been very healthy when it comes to season-ending injuries again. They obviously had to deal with some stuff with Lane and Jalen Carter most recently, but they're not season enders. Those are the ones that really cripple you. But 5 in a row is 5 in a row, man.
No doubt about it. Good stuff there for the Philadelphia Eagles. They are locked in to the postseason now, so we will have our postseason berth. NFC East champs. Good job by the Birds getting the job done. John, a couple days now removed from the game. What did you take away from that game? I mean, look, you played Josh Johnson for a little bit. They were kind of in the game with Mariota. What did you take away from the game? We'll do quick game balls and just kind of what you thought of the game at this point, and then we'll get to some injury news as well. There was a little tidbit that came out yesterday about Jalen Carter and Lane Johnson, as you mentioned yesterday on our Sunday show, potentially the best two players on both sides of the ball. Jalen Carter on defense, Lane Johnson on offense, and they could be set to return in Buffalo. Johnny Mac, what's your takeaways from the game, though, from that Saturday game here on a Monday?
Yeah, I mean, not much. Most of it bad, and then not trying to be negative, but most of it Jake Elliott related. That's a concern.
That's a troubling thought process there with Jake Elliott. Yeah.
And you'd like to finish with touchdowns, but the Eagles were moving the ball even when they were behind. I never got a feeling they were going to lose the game if Marcus stayed in. But bottom line is, when he left, they had the lead. The Commanders had the lead. And once Josh Johnson comes in, you might as well, ignore everything that went on from that point forward.
Yeah.
It's amazing that guy's still getting a check. But God bless him. But
Eagles always get lucky and seem to play. I mean,
my Lord.
We were lucky enough to play that guy in
the NFC Championship game.
In an NFC Championship game, which is hilarious.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are other people pretending it's meaningful? I don't know.
Well, I mean, John, just to put you on the spot, you did seem confident in the team yesterday. You said this is a scary team, is how you referred to them, and you said, finding the rhythm at the right time. How much of that comes from?
Well, I said that's.
I guess that doesn't come from the opponent. That more comes from themselves, right?
No, that comes from, and I use the basketball analogy all the time: seeing the basket go through the hoop, seeing the ball go through the hoop. Even Steph Curry has shooting slumps, and you go get a layup, and you see it go through the hoop, and you're back to normal. Right? That's what they're doing against the Raiders and the Commanders. They're having some success and gaining some confidence. So that part is, I think, legitimate, but more intangible than actually losing the context of the opponent and what was going on. So you can talk about Brandon Graham's 3 sacks and 9 snaps, or Saquon's nice game, and that's not as relevant. Now, if they do it against Buffalo, I think that's more relevant. But the opponent was the opponent, not their fault. You can only play who's in front of you, take care of business, and they were able to do that and gain some confidence. And I think you see that confidence growing. But as I said, locker room very subdued. And that to me is a good thing. This is not like, you saw Chicago, the way they won, and they haven't won for a long time, and they're celebrating, and they got cheese grater heads on their heads, and it's a big deal for them, and it is. It's a big, big, big deal for them. For this team, It's not. That's where those raised expectations are good, because it's like, yeah, this doesn't mean that much. Now it means something to it's an accomplishment, and it means something to the guys who haven't done it before. But for the core group, another day at the office.
Good stuff. Eagles get the NFC East win. John, it's always good to get an NFC East win for this team. Takeaways from the game. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I thought was a good one, John. I thought he played, kind of I don't know if you could call it a 2024-esque game, but, he used his legs a little bit in the football game, ran for 40 yards in the game. It was efficient, made some really nice throws. I mean, I thought the touchdown throw to Goddard was a really good throw by Jalen on the move. I thought no turnovers. That's the kind of games you're going to want from Jalen Hurts, I think, here going into the postseason.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that's the formula for this team to win. If they don't turn the ball over, they're probably going to win. That's just been the nature of it. I'm a little different on Jalen Hurts in the fact that I don't think he's had a bad season by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's one of his best seasons. Dare say, and I'm going to say it, I think it's better than last season from start to finish. In the regular season, obviously, I'm not talking about the playoffs. Playoffs haven't happened yet. When you consider he doesn't have the crutch of the historic running game, spreading the football around, not only do you have Devontae and AJ, but you have Dallas Goedert involved far more. Yeah. I mean, I think if people didn't make up their minds on who, they would acknowledge that, he's actually playing better than he did last year in the regular season. So I'm a little bit different on Jalen Hurts. And if you take out the one outlier, which was the Chargers game from a turnover perspective, I mean, his numbers with ball security are historic. And he had the one outlier. So, yeah, I don't think it's been a bad season for Jalen Hurts, other than people who expect a different style of offense or want a different style of offense, which, by the way, I have no problem with, but it's not coming. So certainly not coming this year. So, I mean, if you're working on the premise of they play offense the way they play offense, it's been a very effective year for him overall.
He did have that lull period in the middle there, but
I mean, everybody has lulls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how this game is. You can look at every quarterback. You look at some Josh Allen games. Now he doesn't have, wide receiver weapons, but everybody has lulls. Excuse me, fighting through a cold still, but he did he have lulls last season? Does everybody forget?
Where would you rank this then for Jalen's seasons? Second best? Third best? I know you thought 23 was a good one too.
Second best, yeah.
So you think this is behind 22?
Yeah.
Whew, doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, well, I think, people are clouded by people think last season was his best season. A lot of people, not everybody. I have to be careful. I think it was his best season because he won the Super Bowl. Wasn't even close to being his best season. Other than his rookie starter season, which was his second season, it was probably his worst season from an individual standpoint. Has to do more in 2023. People look at it poorly because of the collapse. It's all about, winning cures everything, as you're seeing now that they're starting to win again. Everything's fine now. Everything's copacetic.
Yes, winning does cure a lot.
Yeah. I'm talking purely on an individual basis. not on a team basis, because it takes a lot of people to have team success. Yeah, I have this year as his second best year.
How about the run game yesterday or Saturday? Excuse me, John. I thought that was a good thing to see Saquon Barkley get going. He had 21 carries for 132 yards, including some big splash plays in the run game and an awesome touchdown run where he's bullying dudes and mowing people over through contact. I thought that was excellent. And I think one of the biggest things here getting into the postseason, John, that the Eagles want to get going at this point. What'd you make of the run game on Saturday?
Yeah, it wasn't great in the first half, and when it was, actually, Jalen had a bunch of scrambles in the first half, and it wasn't great, but it was over 4 yards, and then they kind of wore him down in the second half, and I think Josh Johnson had a lot to do with that. But it is good to see him being physical, because he mentioned that, playing like a scat back because he can, but probably shouldn't. So, he's got the unique ability to be a scat back who's also capable of running you over. And too often, I think he forgets he can run you over. So anytime you see him be physical, it's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, good stuff there for the running game. And then this defense continues to look pretty good to me. Now, I know you had Marcus Mariota and Josh Johnson, so you're not going to take too much, but I do still think this defense looks, like a championship contending defense. They will do their part, in my opinion, in the Eagles playoff run to try and get this team back to the Super Bowl.
Well, I think they played all year pretty well. So
yeah, just one clear outlier for the defense to me.
Well, there were some early games as well, but you're learning. You have a bunch of different guys you have to replace who played at a high level. So there was a little bit of growth that had to come into it. Still a little. I mean, you do have to factor in Kenny Pickett and Marcus Mariota and Josh Johnson. They haven't seen a starting quarterback in, how long?
It's got to be factored in 100%.
Since Justin Herbert, and even Justin Herbert didn't have his tackles. So it's been a while.
Or his left hand.
Or his left hand. So I do think you have to factor that in, because in theory, in the playoffs, unless somebody gets hurt, you're going to be facing starting quarterbacks. And I think they'll do fine, but I don't think it'll be as dominant as it might look. And I get that, that gets conflated for some who don't look at the other team and what's going on with the other team.
John, what's your early feeling then on this postseason, man? We got 5. We really probably know all 7 teams. I mean, I guess the South is still up for grabs. Let's see what happens there, because the Bucs still have a good chance to make the playoffs. It's actually a higher probability than the Panthers, despite losing yesterday to the Panthers. But you got 5 teams locked in. It looks like there's a good chance, not guaranteed yet, that the Eagles could take on the 49ers in the first round.
Like it.
You think the Eagles could come out of the NFC? What's your thought process?
Oh, yeah. I think the best case scenario is what happened last year. Well, they were the 2 seed, so it was a little bit different. But let's pretend that they end at the 3 seed, which is the most likely option. San Francisco with no Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa, last place schedule, kind of taking advantage of it. Good team. Got to worry about Christian McCaffrey. They don't even have, Brandon Ayuk is persona non grata there. They don't even have their receiving group. A lot of injuries. Should be pretty easy win at home. Vic will rattle Brock Purdy, I think, get a couple turnovers. I think that shapes up very well. Then you have to go on the road, in theory. If Chicago holds serve, you have to go to Soldier Field. Revenge game. In a lot of ways, I think Ben will get suckered in by them giving up 281 yards rushing and try to do it again. And Vic will make the adjustments A lot of confidence in Vic from my standpoint. And then your hope by that point is Seattle or the Rams, whoever's the number 1 seed, loses and gets upset, and you have the NFC Championship game at home.
Right.
Which I could see happening. Now, that would be the perfect scenario. But, yeah, there's nobody here on this side that's going to scare you. Now, I think in every other city, they will say the same thing. Well, this is not the same Eagles team. This is not, they're beating Kenny Pickett and Josh Johnson. That's what they're saying. They can't run the ball effectively. They struggle passing the ball for large stretches. So, they're in the same group. If they show up, but if they bring their A game, is what I've said pretty consistently, they're going to win it. They're going to win the NFC. Got to bring your A game for 3 consecutive weeks, but
I do think the Rams will be a great test. I think they are the team that could knock the Eagles off, in my opinion. I mean, we played last 2 times we played them. I know we've had their number, but they've been really close games. I mean, right down.
Oh, they flat out outplayed the Eagles early this year,
and they were right there in the playoff game last year. Now the Eagles won both of them. They deserve.
No, I think the Eagles outplayed the Rams in the playoffs, so I don't think it was. But they had a chance to steal the game.
Yep.
But I don't like this year. They outplayed them, and the Eagles stole the game. Last year, the Eagles outplayed them. They had a chance to steal the game. They didn't steal the game. So it's not like I don't think they could beat them. They've certainly had their number. They're probably in their collective heads. But the Rams have looked like the best team this season, the most well-rounded team. Now, they're having some special teams issues, just like the Eagles. They fired their special teams coordinator. By the way, that's a bad sign. That is a terrible sign. There's another feather in the cap. If you think the Rams, you don't fire your damn special teams coordinator in week 7, coming into week 17. That's some panic bullshit right there.
That to me was crazy.
So, put that in the pot as well.
Yeah, I mean, is the thought process there that, urgency just in that when your team is good, you got to go for it. You used to say this all the time. I mean, when you have the rare opportunity to go, you got to go. They don't know how long Matthew Stafford's going to be playing. I mean, that's a good team right now. I guess they're looking at it like we can't let the special teams coordinator cost us because their special teams has sucked all year.
Well, what is the special teams coordinator going to do for a kicker that can't kick it 5 yards off the ground? That's his fault.
I don't know.
Chase Blackburn's been around for a long time. He's a good player, good special teams player for those who remember him. He was on the Giants for a long time. But he's been a special teams coach, coming straight out of football by the time. Carolina, Tennessee, Rams, all of a sudden. Like, that's like, I would have said the same thing if the Eagles fired Kevin Patullo in week 15 or week 16 or demoted him. That's some panic bullshit. And same thing with the Rams. That's some panic bullshit.
What else?
Chase Blackburn, one of the best special teams players in football, who's been a special teams coordinator for a number of years since he left the football. Super Bowl champion, doesn't know special teams. That's some panic bullshit. Unless, he's being disrespectful to the head coach. There could be something like he told the head coach to fuck off or something like that. I mean, there could be some personal thing going on that I don't know about that could change things. But what are you plucking a special teams coordinator? Oh, they'll make us better. They'll make the fat guy kick better. I can call him a fat guy because I'm a fat guy.
Well, I can't call him a fat guy. I can call him a fat guy.
Well, you can, but people get upset when you They should. I shouldn't have done it, but you get the point.
I got you.
He missed a 48-yard field goal. All right, they got a shitty kicker. Deal with it. The Eagles got a shitty kicker right now. I got news for you.
Yeah, one of the worst in football.
Deal with it, or don't.
Real quick,
Jake Elliott ain't Michael Clay's fault.
No, he's not. We got Jeff Kerr coming up. John, any other quick takeaways from the games yesterday? Steelers beat the Lions. Raiders. How about the Raiders hanging right in there with the Texans? They lost the game, but they were right there with the Texans.
Well, Geno was back.
Yeah. Patriots beat the Ravens last night. The Jaguars. Oh, man, are they for real? They beat the Broncos by 2 touchdowns. They had a good game in that. And then the Panthers won the NFC South.
Yeah, how about that Steelers-Lions game? That was entertaining. I will say that.
Yeah, Kenny Gainwell was a beast, man.
He is. Did you see that catch?
That catch was
By the way, can all those people, when I said Kenny Gainwell was the best receiving back on the Eagles?
Yeah, you got quite a bit of shit for that.
Oh, my Lord. Where are those people? Where are those people? Oh, no, they never saw Saquon play before. I'm told he's a great receiver. Well, now you've seen it. And you see Kenny every week. Well, if you watch the Steelers.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Rodgers has been talking about him a bunch, man. He loves him.
That dude can catch the football. He played wide receiver at Memphis. People don't realize.
Nope.
For one season, he played slot receiver. He is a damn good receiver. Yeah, I'm shocked the Eagles didn't bring him back. He only got $1.8 million. Bring him back.
Yeah. Well, Jalen
maybe he wanted
quarterback, because he's got such great athletic.
Well, he's definitely not catching 60 passes here.
Yeah, no way.
But the Eagles valued him. They trusted him. They valued him. The head coach loves him. The quarterback loves him. Now, maybe he wanted more of an opportunity. Like DeAndre Swift. A lot of people don't know. The Eagles were trying to bring DeAndre Swift back. He didn't want to stay because he wanted to be in a different offense that took advantage, ironically, of his pass catching skills, which really hasn't happened for him, but he's done a good job in Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, no doubt. I mentioned the Panthers one yesterday. If I mentioned they won I didn't mean they won the NFC South. They won the South showdown yesterday, but those two teams have to play one more time in the final.
Oh, yeah.
And the Buccaneers have who do they have next week? It's a really easy, really crappy team next week. They have the Dolphins next week with Quinn Ewers. I don't know if they're going to lose that game. So that game could come down to week 18. So that'll be
by the way, for Miami, what's wrong with Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I don't know why they went to Quinn. Guess see what you have in the draft. What the drafted player. What? I don't know. How real are the Jags in you guys?
Did you? I love the Jags, but before I get to the Jags, did you see some of the quarterbacks playing yesterday? And started with Josh Johnson on Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Oh my Lord, Quinn Ewers,
Gardner got banged out. Who came in for Gardner when he went?
I don't even know the guy's name. We got to bring up Jeff Kerr. I have no idea the guy's name. Mike something.
Chris? No, it's like Chris.
Chris
or something.
He had Max Brosmer in. JJ got hurt again for Minnesota. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's play more games.
It's a quarterback needy team. Who's giving us a second round draft pick for Tanner McKay, John? One of these teams got to do it.
I don't think anybody is until they get to see him play, but
might get it in week 18.
Well, I mean, in a meaningful game. That's not going to sway anybody. Although, there's stupid teams, But I mean, if you had to play in a meaningful environment, like if Jalen sprained his ankle and he had to go play a meaningful game and he plays well, I think that might convince somebody. I don't think anybody's stupid enough to go that high, but there's a lot of desperate teams and a lot of dumb teams. But I'd go get Mac Jones, but they signed him for 2 years.
Oh, did they? I didn't know they signed him for 2 years. I wonder if they trade him.
That's a great. They might be able to get something for Mac Jones.
Yeah, I agree. All right, John, good stuff. Good opening segment. Appreciate everybody being here. Hit that like button for us today. Birds won the NFC East on Saturday, so good job. Good job by them. Let's go to Jeff Kerr joining us right here on Birds 365. Jeff Kerr, welcome to the show, brother. Make sure you guys go and follow him at Jeff Kerr PHL. Jeff, week 16 now in the books, brother. We are moving right along here in the NFL season. How you doing this morning, brother?
The answer to your question, guys, Chris Oladapoon.
Chris
Yeah.
Oladapoon. Where's he from?
He was a 7th-round pick. I think the Steelers picked him. I can't remember where he's from, though. I remember the Chiefs picked him up. I think it was last year.
South Dakota State. Brother.
All right.
There you go.
Right.
Pick
There you go.
241 in the draft by Pittsburgh. Well done, Jeff.
Yeah.
Kerr.
Dallas Goedert's.
I get them right sometimes, guys.
There you go.
Dallas Goedert's probably got some pride in him.
Yeah, he's a South Dakota State guy.
Yeah. By the way, tied Pete Retzlaff, 60-year-old record for Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. What a season he's having in the contract year. A year where essentially the Eagles would not pay him what he's worth, and he's proven he's worth a lot more than what he's getting paid.
Yeah. By the way, you know where Pete Retzlaff went to school?
I should know this. Go ahead, John.
South Dakota State.
That's right. He went
Is that
to South Dakota
unbelievable?
State. Yeah.
Is that unbelievable?
You know what? When Goddard got drafted, I remember it was like, oh, that's the same school Pete Retzlaff went to. I'm like, oh yeah, that's. Didn't Goddard say he played 7-on-7 football until he was like 17 or something like that?
Oh yeah, everybody does out there in the small Midwest. It's all 7-on-7, basically.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 8-on-8. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just used to PA where you don't see it. That's why it takes offensive linemen so long to develop in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, Eagles won the NFC East, brother, on Saturday. I know you played Josh Johnson and Marcus Mariota, but 2 wins straight, getting their confidence back, and they win the NFC East in back-to-back years for the first time since 2004. What did you make of the Eagles game on Saturday, brother?
Definitely changed in the second half, I think, once Mariota went out. But look, you got to give credit. Still got to give credit to the defense. I mean, they could have let Josh Johnson. It wasn't going to happen, but they could have let Josh Johnson throw the ball.
Could they?
I mean, some bad teams do let guys throw the ball around. I know, but then again, let's put this in perspective. I did watch Kansas City and Tennessee yesterday, and Gardner Minshew wasn't exactly throwing the ball off the Titans defense. So be careful what you wish for.
And Gardner's not a bad backup. I mean,
did he tear his ACL, Gardner?
Yeah,
he did.
Well,
Gardner tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Is that confirmed? Not yet, but whatever, it's close to it. Yeah.
I don't think it was confirmed. But that was, and they usually they usually don't get that wrong. It's an easy test. So, yeah. So that's 2 quarterbacks in 2 weeks. That's unbelievable. So they're going to start that, and you told me his name, and I forgot it again.
Chris Oladapoon?
Yeah, Chris Oladapoon on Christmas. Good luck, Christmas night. We got to watch Chris Oladapoon. I'm not sure Amazon's going to get the bang for its buck for that game.
No,
I was telling Ricky Ricardo on WIP last night. I was kind of chuckling how the NFL's Christmas Day games suck.
Oh, they're awful. They're awful.
I mean, do you really want to watch Cowboys Commanders at 1?
No, I think I'm going to cleanse on Christmas Day. I'm going to go with the family, and I'm going to turn off the football.
You might have I don't know how badly Marcus got hurt. You might have Josh Johnson, Max Brosmer, and Chris Oladapoon as quarterbacks on Christmas Day. But by all means, let's play 18 games.
Yeah. Let's take away the NBA's day because we want to own everything.
Yeah. Well, that's the NFL, man. They're a freight train. They're not going to wait for anybody.
That's what happens what happens when you mess with the NBA and college football's day. By the way, the college football game sucked.
Oh wow, who could have predicted that?
Here's all the Texas and Notre Dame fans crying about Alabama and Miami getting in when they really should be crying that Tulane and JMU got in. Although JMU put up a good showing versus Oregon. They dropped 34 points on them.
Well, that game was over long before that, though.
I'm just saying they did put up a good
garbage time points.
My hot take though, I still will agree with it, even though Tulane got killed. The AAC was better than the ACC this year. That was one of my hot takes, just from watching all the teams in both conferences. I'm like,
I don't get the Miami thing at all. And I know Sills is going to get mad because they beat Notre Dame week 1. in Miami, by the way, by a field goal, whatever they did. I don't remember. So, people go, well, you got to go head to head. You got to go head to head. Look, one team was clearly better than the other late in the season. But even beyond that, Miami didn't even get to the ACC championship game. Who won the ACC? Virginia?
Duke did.
Duke? Why is it Duke in there?
Because what they changed this year, this is how Tulane got and JMU got in. They took the highest 4 conference champions this year. They changed all that up because people complained last year, but Boise State and Arizona State got buys.
Look,
for winning their conference.
You don't even make a conference championship and you're usurping the conference. That's meaningless. All right. Then the conference doesn't mean anything. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. That's what I said.
Nothing that committee does makes sense at any level.
That's what I said. Blame the system in place. Don't blame Tulane. Don't blame JMU.
Oh, no, I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I don't blame them.
And by the way, I still think they're good football teams. They're just not being Oregon and Ole Miss. That's the reality.
They shouldn't be in the college football playoff, though. I mean, they're great teams. Go win your conferences. You're not. They shouldn't be in the top 12 teams for the college football playoff. It's stupid. Texas and Notre Dame would have been way better matchups, way better for viewership.
They might have won the national championship. Those two teams. They have legit shots.
Yeah, and that's what it should be. It should be who has the best chance to play for a national championship. And I'm just happy Tulane and JMU got in. I think that's awesome for those schools and for those programs. But they got to change some things.
What do they say? How'd the Eagles, win the Super Bowl last year? What do they say in the NFL? What are the Eagles saying right now? You got to play your best football late in the season, December, January.
And that's they're doing that.
That's what Texas was doing. That's what Notre Dame was doing. They're dangerous. Alabama, no offense, Zander, was playing like shit at the end of the season.
They were 100%.
But there's an entitlement there with Alabama. They've earned it over the years. They've been a great
playoff game, so it's tough to criticize them or Miami at this point.
They've been a great team for a long time. But if it were Nick Saban, I'd give him deference because he's Nick Saban. I ain't giving deference to that fucking loser they have now, who's going to go to Michigan anyway when they lose.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, you're calling him a loser, and you give Nick Sirianni a lot of credit. Go check out his record versus top 10 teams in college football. It's pretty damn good. I'm not a fan of him either, but
he's not Nick Saban. He doesn't deserve Nick Saban deference. That's all I'm trying to say. He's not obviously. All Alabama does is win games. 3 losses for them is a catastrophe. My whole point is, if they lose 3 and they're getting in, what are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? Georgia wouldn't get in with 3 losses.
Yeah,
Texas
they would.
They wouldn't.
Yes.
No, they wouldn't.
This is the problem. This is the problem with college football. They moved the goalposts for certain schools. They do.
They won 29. Georgia won 29 consecutive games at one point, lost by 3 points on a bad call to Alabama. And they were out. They won 29.
What year are you talking about? When there was only 4 playoff teams? That's a different thing.
They're clearly one of the best 4 teams. If Alabama loses,
comparing this year to a year where they had Nick.
Was that the year Cincinnati got in and got destroyed?
Yeah,
might have been.
Probably.
Yeah.
If Alabama loses the same game, they stay in.
Yeah, but didn't they prove? I mean, didn't Alabama and Miami both prove? All right, yeah, you made the right decision putting us in. I mean, Miami walked into Kyle Field versus one of the best teams in college football this year and gave up 3 points.
I'm not saying they're not good teams. You don't conflate winning with proving. Look, you make a mistake putting a team in and they get hot and they go, I don't care if Alabama wins the national championship. I will continue to say there is no logical reason that they should have been in that playoff. None. No matter what they say, you can debate it. Well, the SEC, it's not fair, the conference. I hear that all the time. Well, it was fucking fair for BYU. They got trounced and they got jumped.
Yeah, they were out.
Why? Because they don't have the respect of Alabama. They don't have the entitlement of Alabama.
Okay, how do you get entitlement?
I went to a school that beat Ohio State, won the Big Ten championship, and still didn't get in. And everybody likes to say, "Oh, Franklin." Well, Franklin did what he had to do. They kept Ohio State in.
Very few. There's one team that could lose 3 games and get in. I truly believe that, and maybe they earned it. And if Nick was there, Nick Saban,
I think there's 5. And 2 are in the Big Ten.
I think there's 1, maybe 2, maybe Ohio State, but I don't even think so. If Ohio State loses to Michigan, no, they'll bounce their asses. Maybe Ohio State, maybe.
There's definitely a little favoritism. I think you're going a little far. Georgia would get in, especially.
Georgia absolutely would not, because Georgia's the same as Texas, and Texas did not. Texas is huge, and they said, fuck Texas.
Yeah, but Texas is
not only is Texas huge, they have a Manning, and they didn't get in.
Kirby Smart is the next Nick Saban. He's going to get that deference. Just not there yet, but he will get it.
Texas. You know where he'll get Xander? When he's the next head coach of Alabama.
Well, he might get it when he wins a couple more national championships, which I assume he will. I think he's the best coach in the SEC right now.
I agree with you on that.
Old Miss, is having a great season despite Lane Kiffin and his lunacy. And they trounced whoever they played. Did they play?
Xander, do you think the Boer's leaving, by the way? Do you think he's...
No, I don't.
I don't think he is either.
Might, but...
you know what? I kind of hope Michigan...
He was a great fit for him. Like, he's not, to me, he's not an SEC. Yeah. SEC is more like... just those disciplined defensive coaches, guys like that. I felt like thrive more. I mean, not everywhere. Obviously, you see Lane Kiffin and guys like that, but Kalen is more, to me, spread offense. I thought Pac-12 was a perfect fit for him. I could see him going to Michigan, but we'll see.
Yeah. Here's what's funny about all this.
Ole Miss is having a great season, obviously.
Yes. Well, they're a great team,
and they trounced Tulane as they should have, and everybody expected. Even without their coach, who's a loser too, by the way. But if they lost, they have 1 loss, right?
Wait, you're a Lane Kiffin hater, John?
Oh, he's a scumbag.
Oh, he can't stand Lane Kiffin.
He
used to tell me that. He used to tell me that way before.
I know stories about Lane Kiffin that I'm not even going to bring up. He is a scumbag at the top level order.
I think
is Jim Harbaugh a scumbag, John?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, look at the assistants at Michigan. That's
probably
coming out.
Now, Jim Harbaugh is well known. No, nobody likes Jim Harbaugh. People that work, I know people that work for Jim Harbaugh that hate him, that work for him. I know too much about Lane Kiffin, but Ole Miss is having that season as an SEC team, but they're even in the SEC, because people claim, well, the SEC is the best conference, which it is. I'm not saying it isn't, but you can have that type of season as Ole Miss, and you're screwed. You still don't have any deference, even though you're in the SEC.
Yeah. The 4 quarterfinal games, by the way,
I mean, they're a stepping stone to the big programs. That's just what they are. That's
not this year. They're not.
Well,
by the way, the 4 quarterfinal games, they're going to be awesome. We're getting some good football.
There's a reason Lane Kiffin jumped ship when he did, and at the time he did. I mean,
more money. All right, yeah.
More money, better school, better program. It's the class of the SEC going to LSU. That you don't get that at Ole Miss. Recruits don't want to go to Ole Miss, John, over LSU, Alabama, and Georgia. They don't. It's a top tier job, LSU.
I agree. It is.
Yeah,
but now in the new world, though, it's who pays the most money. So evidently, Ole Miss is doing okay because they're awesome. So they got somebody to come there.
But they didn't get top recruits. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss, their quarterback was, I think he was at a what school, Jeff? What did he come from? He was like a D2 school or something.
Yeah, he wasn't one of the high D1 schools.
No, yeah. I mean, where did he come from?
But I mean, this is like saying, well, we're going to let the Eagles in because the Eagles are always in. That's what college football's like.
And we still talk about how impressive it is that now that Detroit looks like they're going to miss the playoffs after losing both coordinators. I know the Eagles collapsed in 23, but they made the playoffs the year where they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator, fired their defensive coordinator, essentially fired him, and still made the thing. Oh, and they lost like 6 of 7 to close the year. Detroit ain't making it.
No, they're not. And I've already guaranteed you, if they lose on Christmas, which they're not going to lose, but if they do, who knows? The season's over for them. Who knows? They might shut a bunch of people down. I guess they won't because they still have a tiny chance if Green Bay loses both games. But if they lose, they're going to be a 4th place team. And I guarantee right now they're going to be in the playoffs next season. Guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, because of the schedule.
Yeah.
They'll be back.
That was my guarantee with San Francisco this year. It was all injuries.
Yeah.
And they still had a boatload of injuries this year, and they're in the playoffs.
I mean, they're playing teams.
They had Nick Bosa and Fred Warner.
Oh my God.
It would be a legit.
Yeah.
They're playing teams like the Falcons and the Saints. They got the benefit of playing the NFC South
Well,
this year.
They do have 2 good signature wins this year. They beat the Rams once, and they beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, no, they do. They beat Seahawks week 1, I think, right?
Week 1, which I guess maybe.
But still, though, that's in totality, that's an impressive win. It's
for sure.
They don't stink. It's, by the way, how about the NFC playoff field basically being set? It's just where everybody's going to be seated.
Yeah, basically mostly set right now. Well, the South is still up for grabs. I mean,
a lot of teams are going to clinch tonight if Indy loses.
Yeah.
So
the AFC field is basically set too. Let's look at the standings here.
What's tonight? 49ers Colts, right?
49ers Colts tonight. Yeah. If Indy loses, everybody in the AFC's in.
Yeah.
That's currently in.
Yep.
Those Jaguars, what a game yesterday. I watched that
game. That's my club, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love it.
My club's the Texans, and they barely beat the Raiders.
I liked the Jags in the AFC until they fired my
for all the people that try to figure out, oh, I like this team, I like that team. I'm at 28-29. I'm telling you right now, I'm a Jags fan. So you can lag on.
There you go, John.
He likes James Gladstone. Let's be real. That whole Duval.
I like Tony. I like Tony.
I know that too. But
I like
James
Doug. When Doug was there, I rooted on Doug for sure.
Yeah, I like Doug. So
I like seeing Trevor Lawrence become the quarterback everybody thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I did.
And Jacoby Myers, what a trade for them, by the way.
That was a great trade. And they also proved Denver's a fraud, which I thought the whole time.
The Patriots are not frauds.
Full fraud? I don't think they're a full fraud.
I don't think they're a full fraud. They're a good team. They have a good. I think the quarterback's a fraud. But it takes a while,
Did you guys see
as Trevor Lawrence is? This is what, year 5 for Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
He's finally starting to get it.
5 or 6. I feel like Trevor's been around a while now.
Did you guys see Liam Cohen use Sean Payton's compliments in the Michael Jordan way and decide to take it personally?
No.
About being a small market team?
He's a wacko, though, Liam Cohen.
Oh, yeah. So, Sean Payton was literally complimenting the Jaguars being a small market team, being able to do everything they did. Liam Cohen decides to use the small market team thing against them.
I saw that.
Well, I read. You remember when DK Metcalf took Jim Schwartz's comments that he's not Calvin Johnson, but he's the best I've seen since Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he took it. He's not Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he took that as an insult.
Players, man, they find ways to get motivated. Coaches find ways to get motivated.
And guess what, DK, who's slapping fans? You ain't Calvin Johnson. It was a compliment.
He's not even shouldn't even be uttered.
What a crazy moment that was yesterday.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. If you read, there's like articles coming out now about the fan too. It's nuts.
Wait, what? The DK Metcalf with the fan thing?
Yeah, there's articles.
I'm sure the band was a scumbag. I'm sure. I mean, he's not just going up to a random.
Apparently, this has happened before. I don't know. I haven't read the Detroit Free Press article yet, but they're like, apparently a Vikings reporter too said something like, "Oh yeah, I know that is like I've heard that fan."
Oh really? No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. I mean, That's in every stadium. There are people who are going to give you shit. You gotta control it. You do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it ain't
And
nice.
they weren't saying
it ain't
anything
fair.
bad about DK or the fan. They were just like they said what you said, John. They're just adding pieces to the puzzle because they said to the Vikings, "Oh, you're just going after the fan." And he said, "No, I'm not. I just said I've heard that fan before. I've been on the sidelines."
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting too. I didn't watch the Sunday night game last night. I know the result, but
Baltimore, Lamar got hurt again.
yeah, it's not their year.
No,
it's just not their year.
They were up significantly, and Lamar got hurt. And
Zander, how old were you the last time the Steelers had a losing season?
I don't know. When was it?
2003. 2003.
I was 5 years old.
19 straight years Mike Tomlin said.
The last time the Steelers had a losing season, Lincoln Financial Field had its first season. The Eagles actually played the game at the Vet in 2003.
I feel like the Steelers, though, have fallen into a little bit of a trap with that. Like, it is nice. Don't get me wrong. It's impressive, but don't you want more than that?
Oh, it is a trap. Well, they want more than that.
That they have another winning season.
Well, they want more than that. They have the standard that the Eagles have. They want to win.
Get bounced.
Yeah, they don't like it, honestly.
All you got to do is ride Kenny Gainwell to the Super Bowl.
I agree with you. Kenny Gainwell was – you know what, John? I heard you guys talking about that. From my interpretation, it always seemed like Kenny Gainwell just wanted more of a role. And he was able to get somewhere else.
That might have been the issue. Because I find it very hard to believe. Because Nick Sirianni loves him, Jalen Hurts loves him.
He liked it here, but
yeah, I find it very hard to believe they couldn't carve out $1.8 million.
And this is where I will defend Kenny Gainwell. It's if the competitor in you, the player in you, sees what it is for Saquon Barkley. And look, I know everybody says know your role, but you can still know your role and have a bigger role.
Yeah.
And he's doing that.
No, I wouldn't blame him at all if he wanted to.
I'm happy for him.
Same here. I mean, good dude. Everybody loved him. Really good player. Yeah.
What a catch yesterday.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
That was amazing.
That was like Antonio Freeman on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Jeff, what do you feel?
You covered that game, didn't you, John?
I covered that. Yeah, I covered that game.
Jeff, what do you feel about the NFC picture? I mean, it looks like it. This might not be guaranteed. It's definitely not guaranteed, but looks like the Eagles could take on the Niners in round 1 in Philly. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I like it for the Eagles. By the way, how do you guys feel about them? Look, I think they should go for the 2 seed. We all know they're going to play their starters this week, but everybody's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter if it's the 2 or the 3." And I'm trying to tell people it
matters.
Does matter. It does matter. It
does matter.
I mean, they were the 2 seed last year, and that's how they got home field advantage. I think a lot of fans do see it that way, but why is there talk about they should rest their stars week 17 and week 18? That's asinine.
No. Come on. Who's saying that?
No. You know who's saying it.
Wait, so if the Eagles beat the Niners in round 1, and let's just say the Rams win and the Bears win, would it be in Chicago in round 2?
Yeah. They would play Chicago in round 2, yeah.
Because then the Seahawks would take on the Rams, the 5th seed.
But say if you're the 2, who knows how serious Jordan Love's injury is too, by the way. But you could get the Packers without Jordan Love.
NFC Championship game in Philly, Eagles, Rams. That's my prediction.
That'd be a heck of a NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I think the Rams will march into Seattle and beat them.
You're saying the
NFC on Thursday.
Yeah. Well, the Rams are better than the Seahawks. I agree with that.
Would you be surprised, though, if the Eagles went to Seattle for the NFC Championship game?
No.
I
wouldn't be surprised.
They would beat the Rams. Wait, John, what were you about to say?
I don't know. The Rams are better than the Seahawks, but
that's what I'm saying. So I think the Eagles would go into Chicago and beat Chicago.
Oh yeah,
and then the Rams.
I think Chicago is the team. I think Chicago is the team you want to face in the play, even though they're good.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
I think that's the team you want.
Yeah. Well, if the Rams go into Seattle and beat Seahawks, and then the Eagles go into Chicago, beat Chicago, the NFC title game would be in Philly.
Chicago has a lot of Commanders vibes to them from last year. Like they're winning a lot of games late.
Oh yeah, they are. I've made that comp. It's too soon for them. Too much too soon.
Yeah,
they're not as good as they are perceived to be. Very gifted.
Another story that kind of emerged from that Eagles Commanders game. People are really arguing about Nick Sirianni going for 2. It was the right move.
People lose their minds over the
It was
dumbest
the right
shit.
move. That's what you do.
Like if you're Dan Quinn, by the way, running up the score is taking an extra point.
No.
Like 1 point is running up the score.
I'll
I don't
tell you
mean
what
I don't
running
mean
up the
this in a
score is.
personal. I don't mean this in a personal way on Dan. I don't know Dan. He coaches like a loser though, and that response after the game was a loser.
I've talked to Dan. I love interviewing Dan Quinn, but yeah, he's got some of those vibes. I don't know.
He's an old school guy who hasn't been told this is what you do in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, he coached to lose the game, and then he's bitching because Nick Sirianni coaches the opposite. Hey, dude, maybe Dan, you should take a page out of Nick's book, who's been more successful as a head coach than you, who's been to 2 Super Bowls, and who has his team at the top of the NFC.
Guys, refresh my memory here.
A page out of his book instead of bitching about him taking a 2-point conversion. Stupid.
Yeah, guys, refresh my memory here because I rewatched the first half. I didn't rewatch second half yet. Dan Quinn punted twice in the fourth, right?
Oh yeah. Well, the first time when Marcus they were moving the ball a little bit, they got the ball coming out of halftime.
Yeah, they were moving the ball there, right? Then he got hurt.
I was talking to Allie Waddington, former Eagles great PR exec.
That's why John likes going to Washington so much.
She's doing a great job in Washington, but so I sort of missed the beginning of that drive, but they were moving the ball. They had a big gain, I know, and they were past the 50, and he's punting the ball. It's like, dude, you got 4 wins. 4 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of loser talk, but here's the thing I'll say, and I brought this up post game as well. Maybe they're playing. You have to put that in the equation. Maybe Adam Peters, maybe Josh Harrison. No, we want the draft pick.
I don't blame him for that.
I do, because I don't think football's like basketball. Like I don't think
like here's a perfect example. Who's got more momentum going into next year when you're a losing team? The Saints, who've won 3 straight and are finally
the Saints do. The Saints do.
Tanking to get a couple extra.
The Saints do. I mean, the Saints killed the Jets. By the way, I think that was my lock of the week. Saints over the Jets. They smoked them.
Yeah,
it's like I like what Kellen's doing down there.
I like what Tyler Shuck's doing.
Me too. Yeah. But I think a lot of that's from Kellen.
Well, yeah,
I mean that's Kellen's quarterback.
Kellen deserves a lot of credit for that, no doubt about it.
It's a shame though. I wanted Kellen to give us a 2nd-round pick for Tanner McKee. So I guess
maybe it tells you something about Tanner McKee.
Yeah,
he'd rather have Tyler Shuck than Tanner McKee.
Now Tyler Shuck doesn't look like he's that bad.
Sometimes it does. It's got to work out though. I mean, if Eagles didn't want to trade him last year, and then you got to get a quarterback. Who would have been their quarterback if they didn't have Shuck this year?
Spencer Rattler.
Who started
their quarterback. He was their quarterback. He started.
Yeah, remember he started.
Yeah.
But the point, I think everybody looked at that. Everybody looked at that situation and said, Kellen's going to go. Everybody in Philadelphia, Kellen's going to go. He has nothing at quarterback. He's going to offer the Eagles a 2nd-round pick for Tanner McKee.
Did they offer him something? I thought they offered him something.
No.
John McMullen's getting fired, right?
Yeah, he should.
3-12. They're dead last. I mean, that team's just
guys is stiff. Eagles fans are right about him. Go be a DC again. You'll be a good DC, not a head coach.
But you got
Gannon.
JJ.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's
cooked, and he should be cooked.
I'm trying to think of the coaches that might get fired here over the end of the season. I think Stefanski's going to.
He's going to get a job right away.
Oh yeah, he'll get a job right away. I'm just saying, I think he's going.
He's not one of the guys who has to. Usually, you have to sit out. He's not going to have to sit out if he gets fired.
Does Mike McDaniel get the axe?
I hope so.
He should.
I don't wish anybody to lose their job, but Mike McDaniel's not a head coach. He should go back to being an offensive coach. He's a whack job. You got to be a leader.
How about Aaron Glenn? Does he go?
He got the.
No, he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay.
He's going to stay. Now, I don't think he should stay. I don't think.
No, I think if there's a one and done coach, it's him.
Yeah, but
I don't think they're.
How would Aaron Glenn, even if you don't like him, how would he do anything more than what he did this year with that?
Well, what about Gerard Mayo, right? Kind of the same situation.
Well, I don't know.
And he had the quarterback, by the way. I said
the Patriots were 12-3 this year.
Well, the Patriots won the offseason by firing him. They won the offseason by firing him. That was the move.
Well, yeah, they got Mike Vrabel.
I said that. I'm like, oh, go get Mike Vrabel and let's see what you can do because you got the guy. That's the difference. The Jets don't have the guy.
I mean, I don't think Aaron Glenn did a good job in Detroit. That was their weakness.
He didn't.
Now, obviously they had a ton of injuries, as they always do. So that factored into it. But I think the guy this year is doing a better job than he did last year.
Yeah, he is. And I don't think he has the horses as Aaron Glenn did.
No, not even close. He's had 97 injuries again, but they're still fighting and clawing and doing some decent things.
Yeah. Detroit's offensive line hasn't been as good as in years past. They still know how to put up points.
Pete Carroll could be out too.
Yeah, he could.
He's got to be out.
You think Dan Quinn is out?
Yeah. Dan Quinn? Nah, I think he's back.
No, I think Dan's back. Although, after what I saw this weekend, I don't know if I agree with it. But
you know what? We're going to laugh someday, like 10, 20 years from now, and be like, man, Pete Carroll coached the Raiders.
What about this Bengals coach?
I would get rid of him personally. But I don't think they're going to.
I don't know what the guy is. He good? I can't really tell.
I think he's good with Joe Burrow as his quarterback.
He's a Sean McVay guy, and he made the Super Bowl. But I think his shelf life is expired.
It's been a long time. He's been there since what, 19?
What about the Falcons coach? It was Raheem Morris, I think.
Yeah,
Raheem Morris. He's in trouble.
He's in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble.
There's going to be some movement.
Schottenheimer will be fine in Dallas. McDaniel's probably cooked. O'Connell's probably good. He's not. There's no worry there.
Yeah,
Steichen should be good.
Steichen should be fine too.
What about John Harbaugh?
No, they're not.
No, I think John gets that grace period.
Yeah, I agree.
Todd Bowles? I don't think
Todd
Bowles
is an underrated potential at risk if he doesn't win that division.
I mean, you should not lose that division, and they're losing that division.
Well, no, if they win out, they're going to win.
Yeah, they win out, they win it, but
and the game's in Tampa, week 18. They should win out. Who do they have this week? I don't know who they have this week.
Tampa?
Yeah.
Tampa, they play someone bad.
Yeah, somebody easy. They got the Miami Dolphins.
They got Miami.
I mean, they should win that division. They should beat Miami and beat Carolina.
I agree.
At home, by the way.
I don't think it's for sure that the Panthers get in yet. I mean,
Tampa Bay does not leave this state. They don't leave the state of Florida.
By the way, I hope Carolina wins that division because I'd rather see them in the playoffs than Tampa.
Yeah,
but
Carolina hosts Seattle on Sunday. That's a big game.
That's a huge game. Huge game.
I bet I know who the Rams are rooting for in that game.
Oh, no duh. Yep. They lose. If the Panthers somehow beat the Seahawks this weekend, would that put the Rams back in the one spot?
So the Rams got the Falcons and the Cardinals. They should finish 13-4.
Well, that's
right.
A tough
So
finish.
What do the Seahawks finish with? The Seahawks have the Panthers and then who?
Panthers and the 49ers. So it's a much tougher road. The Seahawks had to win Thursday night.
And they did. And they did.
Seahawks losses. 49ers, Bucks, Rams.
Well, that's why
they went at home.
I see where John is on that. I think the Eagles could be the favorite to come out of the NFC.
They could. It's very possible.
Yeah,
especially with the way that run game's clicking right now. They might have found it.
I don't know if they found it, but I know they're
playing with more confidence, which might be all they need.
Hey, I'll say I thought Saturday was Saquon's best game of the year.
He ran hard in that game, man. That was a good game for him. I agree. Ran hard, yards after contact.
I thought it was Landon Dickerson's best game of the year.
I don't know, man. We're giving too much credit for this.
I know we're giving too much credit. But look, we can't
opposition.
We can't blame them for the Commanders being as bad as they are. And
I know. But I said all you can do. I say constantly. All you can do is play who's on your schedule. It's not their fault. But I'm also not making grandiose declarations for beating up on these bullshit teams. That's
But
where
you want to get hot at the right
turn.
time. By the way, this is why I want the starters to play Sunday, because the Bills are a good team with a good quarterback.
The difference with the Eagles is that they do have the pedigree. Like if the Panthers get hot, you're probably or like the Broncos or the Patriots, they get hot and we're all like, well, I don't know. Let's see. If the Eagles get hot,
well, the Eagles have the
knows
reputation too.
That's what I mean. They got the pedigree, the reputation, and I think the talent on the roster.
Yeah.
So if they start clicking, that's different to me than if someone else starts clicking, even like a team like the Seahawks. I don't know what
my favorite is when the Rams kick the crap out of the two teams they're going to play. They're going to be like, don't let the Rams get hot. I'm like, they're already hot. They've been hot. Been hot all year.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at who played well. Everybody played well, but who did they? Saquon probably did have his best game of the year from a PFF standard, whatever that means.
The Jeff Kerr standard says he played his best game of the year, so we can go by that.
Jalen middling.
How about Jordan Davis? We could say
Jordan was a monster. I said that. He was a monster in that game. Jordan Davis.
BG had a great game too. Moving him inside.
I don't know. Come on. The guy plays freaking 9 snaps a game.
He has 3 sacks in his last 12 snaps. I love it.
What is this? How can you, if a tree falls in the woods, is it a good game? How can you play 9 snaps in an NFL football game and people declare it a good game? Now, he did well in his 9 snaps.
I mean, for him, he had a good game.
Yeah, he did well in his limited role. Can't we just say that?
Well, yeah, but you can say he had a good game in his limited role.
Well, but my point is, Jeff, people who say, well, he got sacked, so he had a great game. Like, people don't pay any attention to the game.
I think Byron Young has great games recently, and he plays limited snaps.
Yeah, but John, in limited snaps, he's giving you production. Isn't that a good thing?
I think Byron Young played 26 fucking snaps. Byron Young is a big part of the rotation.
Yeah, but we didn't really know that. I mean, we knew that, but we didn't really get to see it until Jalen Carter got hurt.
Byron Young might have played more snaps, but if you're going off of PFF, it don't look too good for Byron.
No, what I'm saying is he plays a meaningful role in the rotation. If you put Brandon out there for 26 snaps, you think he's going to play well?
I hear you. Well, he's 30. How old is Brandon Graham? Yeah,
37 years old.
37 years
That's the whole point. That's what I'm trying to make. People lose their minds over sacks. Would you rather have Jordan Davis, who had 0 sacks against the Commanders, or Brandon Graham?
Jordan Davis, baby, all day long.
He
was tremendous in that game.
Lose their fucking minds over that stupid stat. They lose their minds.
You know what else they lose? You know what else they lose their minds over? Passing yards.
Well, that too.
A meaningless stat.
Well, it's a passing league, Jeff. They've legislated.
Not this year. Not this year.
Yeah, not this year.
Maybe it's not anymore. You guys saw that stat, the 2018 versus 2025, the quarterback thing. I saw that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was. Sandra, were you celebrating the Eagles eliminating the Cowboys from the playoffs this weekend?
I wasn't. I wouldn't say I was celebrating it, but I it's good. Good to Eagles.
I do think it's funny that it's been 30 years since they made a conference championship game.
Yeah,
it's just getting funnier now.
They've never been good in my lifetime.
Hey,
there you go. That's what you got to say to people. I don't know what it's like for them to be good because they've never been good in my lifetime.
I was more happy about Alabama this weekend.
I'm sure you were. That was an awesome game Friday night too.
Yeah, it was great.
I couldn't wait to sit down and watch that. That was fun. That Oklahoma team is incredible, by the way. That's how you do it.
The what?
The Oklahoma, just everything. Everything. Like, we need more college football playoff games on home campuses, period.
Yeah, and dude, that's why I said I know we had the college talk earlier, but Bama and Miami, those are 2 tough places to play. Oklahoma and Kyle Field and Texas A&M. That's one of the toughest stadiums in college football.
Do you imagine if the setup was like last year and Penn State had to go to Boise State instead of playing in the Fiesta Bowl? I know Penn State was probably still beat them, but the fact that like someone like Boise State could have hosted a playoff game, that would have been nuts.
Jeff, I think your school made a drastic mistake this year.
Byron Franklin?
Yeah.
I like the hire, though.
I wasn't even a Franklin guy.
No, I thought they made a mistake firing him. I do love Matt Campbell. I think Matt Campbell's a really good coach.
I'm not a huge Matt
I don't know.
Campbell
I'm
guy.
not a
By the way, get ready for this. Rocco Beck's going to be the Penn State quarterback.
Is that what you think? Because Celia's trying to get into Miami.
I am
Celia
99
friends with Anthony, his father.
Yeah, I am 99.9% confident he will be the Penn State quarterback.
I don't even know who that is, but whoever
Anthony
gives him
Beck's
most
son.
money.
He played at Iowa
Oh,
State.
okay. Anthony,
Anthony Beck's son.
I like it. I like him.
Yeah.
Actually.
Iowa State fans love him. I was hearing through the grapevine. They're like, this is probably 2 days before Rocco entered the portal. Rocco's going to enter the portal, and you could take a guess where he's going.
By the way, this is why you don't tank in the NFL. Look at this garbage class of quarterbacks that everybody was pumping up.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And Arch is going back to school. I guess you're taking who's going one? Mendoza?
Xander, you would take the $7 million to go back to school, right?
100%.
Mendoza's probably going number one. Your guy, what would Ty say?
Everybody's gonna fall.
He's had a rough last 5 games.
And people were talking about him like he was a first-round pick.
He looked like it early, John, throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, he looked really good.
Well, the key is, projecting to the next level. None of these guys, Mendoza, I'm like, oh boy, you're gonna rest your.
You don't see any traits there with Mendoza. I mean, you always say draft is about traits. A lot of times about traits.
Yeah. No, I mean, but I would not trust my future with him. He doesn't deserve to be the first pick in the draft.
Yeah. I have a good source with Aller too. I want to see Aller play an offense that tailors to his strengths, because I don't think he's had that over the last couple years. But we'll see. He's not going to be a first-round pick anymore. At least I don't think so.
The Saints got the best quarterback in this draft in what, the third round, second round?
Second round, 40th pick. Tyler Shuckle.
They got the best quarterback in this draft in the 40th pick because he's older.
Remember, Kellen said everybody was criticizing him because of his age. He was 25, and he goes, "Well, we think that's a good thing."
Yeah, turns out it is a good thing.
Yeah.
But
and Kellen got a lot of flack for that too.
Here's an article, John. Speaking of it, here's an article from JetsXFactor.com. Yes, Fernando Mendoza is a tank-worthy quarterback for the Jets.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What is it?
Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah. This guy, I don't know who it is, but I'm guessing he was on the tank for Tua bandwagon back in the day.
Yeah, right.
God.
Yeah, I mean, look at Cam Ward this year. I mean, development is a real thing. So, you have to get in the right situation. You're going to trust the New York Jets with a defensive head coach to turn that guy into a quarterback in the NFL?
I don't think so.
I mean, the Jets' history is the Jets.
Yeah, but John, here's another part of it. Because you're right. Last year's quarterbacks, is it worth tanking? Look at the 2024 class. Right now, it's early, but Jalen Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, who's starting to turn the corner potentially, Bo Nix. That's what teams are hoping for. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time. I'm just saying that's what these.
I think my favorite with these draft people they were trying to convince themselves with Cam Ward, and I'm like, I didn't see it. I thought he'd be okay.
Well,
you can't be okay and be number one.
Cam's still got some skill. I'm letting him.
There is a big difference between Caleb Williams and Cam Ward. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
there's a big difference between guys who belong at the top of the draft and guys you take at the top of the draft because they're the best quarterback that year. If you don't have a Caleb Williams type from a talent perspective, and let's be honest, he was a disaster in year one with a defensive head coach, and Ben Johnson has helped him, and he's improving, and hopefully that continues for him. And even Drake May was sort of a disaster until you get Josh McDaniels around.
A disaster.
Drake May had a good. I thought he had a good rookie year last year compared with everything he was dealing with.
All right, well, whatever. I don't think he was that good.
A bunch of Jaden Daniels year ones. I mean, that doesn't happen often.
I don't think he was that. I don't think he was that good, and I think getting Josh McDaniels back was a big thing for that.
Well, I thought Drake had a good year again with everything surrounding him and the lack of anything around him. I thought he had a really good rookie season.
Yeah,
And I was like,
including,
and
you know,
that's the guy I thought that
defensive
was going to take the leap. I thought it was going to be him.
Well, was he
Yeah.
better than, you know, it defensive-minded head coach. Eddie, if I'm taking a quarterback that high, I can't have a defensive-minded head coach, period. And I like defensive
Now
guys.
that I agree with completely.
I can't
I
have
agree
a
with you.
defensive-minded head. So if I'm taking Mendoza number 1, Aaron Glenn's got to be out.
Yeah. And
Or
he
you
might
better damn well get a Josh McDaniels level coordinator.
Well, it's the Jets, John. So don't put.
You know what the best
put
part
the
about
rest of
Josh McDaniels is? He was so bad as a head coach in multiple locations. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's there forever, baby.
Now somebody might give him another shot. They're so
Oh,
dead.
I go back.
on.
I still will go back to that.
Between him and
O'Connell
Dennis
close
Allen, those two should never be allowed to be a head coach ever.
I don't
Gotta
disagree
go,
with
guys.
you.
You got to go back to the O'Connell quote. Teams are failing these guys. You remember? I mean, Mahomes got a chance to sit for a year. You know, look
Yeah.
at how that turned out. I mean, these quarterbacks.
And the Chiefs
are
could afford to
rusty.
do that too.
I mean, Cam Moore, was he supposed to turn the Titans around this year? I mean, I get it. He doesn't look all that
No.
great, but I'm giving him some.
Oh, I never liked the Titans head coach to begin with, so I thought Cam Ward was kind of doomed.
Look,
Coach was terrible.
if and I don't know who's going number 1 this year. I know that Bain kid has got short arms, so he's not going
Yeah.
number 1.
No, he won't go one.
Love's a running back, so he's not going. He'll go top 10, but not.
Yeah, he could legitimately go high. Though. He is crazy.
Caleb Downs from I love him, but he's a safety. I don't know who are the edge rushers. I haven't done my.
Yeah, I'm actually just
The
searching
point
NFL
is-
draft big board now.
Arvell Reese is a good edge rusher.
This
in
is not a draft where the quarterback should go number 1. If they don't deserve the number 1, don't take them at number 1.
I don't
Try to
know,
get
John.
somebody
The
in
problem is
development.
There's no big edge rushers that deserve it either. I mean, there's good edge rushers. Arvell Reese from Ohio State's a good player. You got the edge.
Yeah,
from Texas Tech,
obviously
Bain's
Bain's a good player, but he's not
Bain
worth
is a
number.
good player. There's some good ones, but I don't know if they're number ones.
What do we make of Carnell Tate? Do we think he's going to be drafted pretty high?
Top,
Yeah.
I think top 10,
But
top
not,
15.
Yeah, he's not number 1, but
No,
No.
I'm looking for top 5 guys.
it's a weird year. It is. Like, I'm just going down the board now, and I'm like,
I think the
I don't know.
Oregon quarterback, I think, will be in there. I think Mendoza will
Dante
be
Moore,
in the top
yeah.
5.
Oh God,
Who's that top tackle that people like too? There's that top tackle.
yeah, what's the
Miami
kid's
guy.
name? Trevor Crosby. Trevor Crosby?
Him too, but no, who's the other tackle? Miami guy. I'm blanking on his name. Francis something. Francis Mogiai or Mugiai. Or
Oh, there's
something.
Peter Woods from Clemson. Now he's a potential top pick.
Caleb
He's a
Downs is
defensive
probably.
back.
You can make an argument.
Yeah,
Caleb Downs
Xander. I know
He's
you're
the
talking
best.
about.
He's probably the best. Right.
Spencer Bano from Utah. He's
Yep,
big.
he's a good player.
he's a guard, right? Is he a guard?
They got him listed as a tackle. This is ESPN.
Okay.
Maybe he's tackle guard. Who knows? Keldrick Falk from Auburn. You got David Bailey from Texas Tech or edge rushers.
He's good, Bailey.
Yeah, this doesn't look great at the top. All right, take a shot with Mendoza.
That's
Doesn't
what I'm
look
saying.
great.
I think that's where you are, John.
Yeah, you know what the best player in the country is? I've been saying it for a while. It's Jeremiah.
Love. And you know you can make an argument for Caleb Downs from.
But
pure
nobody's
talent.
taking a running back number 1. Nobody's taking a running back number 1.
Or a safety.
Alabama's got a tackle, Caden Proctor.
Yeah, he's good.
Boy, yeah, I'm not in love with this group.
No, it's
I'm not
good.
here. This is a bad year.
Yeah,
Except for Downs and Love are my two.
You know who
guys.
could go number 1, and they'll never do it because they'll never take a defensive tackle number 1. Peter Woods.
Yeah, Peter Woods. That's what I said.
Peter Woods is really good. He's really good. I do like him.
And Field Yates did a opening mock. He's pretty good. I actually like Field Yates, but
I
he did
do
a
like
mock
Field
up
too.
there. He had the Eagles taking a corner at 21. Now they're not going to pick at 21.
And these guys don't even look at positions.
No, this was 2 weeks ago when they were 8-5. So
Yeah.
These
Caleb
mock
Downs,
drafts.
Caleb Downs is really good too.
Oh, I love Caleb Downs.
he's probably the best raw talent in the draft. He's
Yeah.
unreal.
I
don't
mean,
like him.
again, you all take safeties 1, but I might make a reservation for him.
Caleb left Alabama, so I hold the.
Yeah, I
grudge.
was gonna say, he's a
great-
Bama
great
guy.
football player.
He's a
There's no doubt.
Bama guy. Yeah.
All right, guys, here's a great super chat. Jeff, I'm going to keep you on for it. I think you'll like it. Here's Dice. What's up, Dice? Thanks for this Superman. It's a good one. John, what are the ramifications of each loss? Wild card,
Ooh.
second round, NFC, Super Bowl. Who's the scapegoat at each level? What changes? Example, OC, AJ. Nick. That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Well, I don't think AJ's a scapegoat, but I think if he, I don't think he wants to be here if they lose in the first round. So I don't think that's necessarily a scapegoat. If they lose in the first round and lose significantly, I think Kevin is the obvious scapegoat, and I think
I'm with you there.
Even in that situation, I think Nick is going to be more willing to fight for him. In short, I think wherever they bail past that, nobody's getting fired.
I would agree with that. I think it's only if you lose in the wild card round because it is hard to win.
Now there'll be certain guys that might move on, lower level assistants that get promotions or are out of contract and go somewhere else, and maybe even a lateral move. So I'm not saying there's not going to be any change, but there's always change, but there's not going to be any obvious scapegoat if they make it to at least the second round. That's my belief.
Like the head of the snakes, are not going to be like the coordinator and stuff like that. What point do you guys think Kevin Petullo would go the other way and get a head coaching gig? That'd have to be a Super Bowl.
Get a head coaching gig.
That'd have to be a Super Bowl.
If they win the Super Bowl, now things have to happen.
If they win the Super Bowl, I don't think he's getting it right now.
Things, it's not even easy. Two things have to happen. Teams don't like to wait to the Super Bowl to hire new head coaches. So they have to swing and miss on their first couple tries.
Like the
Saints did. And then if it gets late in the process, they say, all right, we're going to wait for the Super Bowl coordinator. Then he might get a head job.
See, this is where I think teams are dumb. Because I get it. You want to get him in there and get it going. But you're trying to hire a guy that's there for 5+ years. Why are you jumping
they're
on a
dumb.
month?
They're dumb.
That's right. I agree with you.
I get you need the coach. It's a month wait. Wait to get your guy. Pick the right coach. Look at the Saints. I'm sure they're happy it worked out the way.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I joke about this with Penn State, Zander. They got the right guy, even though they struck out over this guy and this guy. They got the guy anyway.
Hater. I don't know about Campbell yet. Let's see.
Well, what don't you like about him?
Can he recruit?
I don't dislike him. I
don't know anything about him other than Nick Sirianni likes him.
He wins more with less. That's the type of coach I want.
I want a recruiter. So I agree with Zander. They made a big mistake firing James Franklin. I know.
I agree with that. No, I still say they made a mistake firing James Franklin. But if you could replace James Franklin with somebody, I think there were two guys I like, Sataki and Campbell, and what they were able to do.
And the pros, I want a good coach. I want a leader. Number one as a head coach. I want good coaches as coordinators. I need a leader as the head coach who can get people moving in the right direction. That's what I want in the NFL. In college, I want a good recruiter. That's it.
You talk to Nick, he'll tell you Matt's a good recruiter.
Maybe he is.
I'm just telling you guys this. Iowa State was such a joke before he got there. They were an absolute joke. This guy has turned down NFL jobs.
He got a big
I was worried that Michigan was going to go get him when they fired Sharon Moore.
Scott Loeffler doesn't have a big ego, so he can leave Bowling Green for a position coaching job. A lot of these guys have big egos.
Like the Cowboys wanted him to be their head coach. So did the Lions.
Matt Campbell?
No.
I've never heard that in my life.
Who sent our super chat. He said, Iowa State fan here.
Thank
Campbell
you.
Can get the most out of lower talent. That's true.
Well, I'm not saying that's possible. I know nothing about him as a recruiter. I'm saying that's what I want in college football.
Yeah, no,
I want the best recruiters.
Yeah.
And it's not just the head coach. You have to have a whole system set up. Obviously, Penn State should have a better ecosystem for it. But I want the best recruiter. I don't give a shit about schematics in college football. College football is about, this team has more talent. And then you run a bunch of RPO bullshit.
Penn State's problem was
and you move.
Penn State's problem was they had the talent and they still lost anyway.
Do you guys think Marcus Freeman jumps to the NFL?
At some point, yes. I don't know if it'll be
If I were
now.
him, and everybody's going to make their own decisions, they have their own goals and things of that nature. But if I were Marcus, I'd stay right where I am.
Yeah, same here.
try and-
Same here.
Not me.
I think that's a great job for him.
I would flee like a sinking ship from any college program to the NFL. I don't want to deal with that bullshit in college.
Marcus is a college guy, though.
Too.
No, I mean, you have to deal with NIL. You have to deal with families and recruiting. You have to go in people's living rooms, and the NFL. Oh, it's a business. Your whole life is just football. It's so much now. If you can't,
Used to be college was the better job. Now it is the NFL.
Yeah. Now, if you can't,
$15 million in college.
now there's only 32 of these jobs. It's like, yeah, the money they're paying in college. If you can't get a head coaching job in the NFL, yeah, stay at college and earn the money. But no, nobody wants to deal with that shit. Nobody. There were guys playing. Everybody was looking in to go into the NFL.
Yeah,
that's why Hapley left. That's why Scott Lepler left. I was joking about the ego. Now those are lower level.
But John, do you agree to this? Some coaches do like that. I get it. It's a lot of bullshit. Some coaches prefer that. You know,
I don't know if they do prefer it.
I'm
sure everybody's different.
Urban
I'm
Smart has no interest in coaching in NFL.
I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know him personally. I'm sure there's some people who enjoy it. I'm sure there's different things float everybody's boat. There's always different people, but the vast majority don't want to deal with that bullshit. Now, look, when Chip Kelly was here in a far different environment, everybody was like, well, he's got one foot out the door the minute he got here because he wants to be in college. Because the only reason he left Oregon is because he was going to get hammered with sanctions and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they did.
Which that part was true. But when he got here and everybody was saying he's got one foot out the door, he's going to leave right away to go back to college. He was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to.
I did. He saw the writing on the wall years before the writing was on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, Chip isn't the most people person guy in the world. So you can imagine he wasn't thrilled going into living rooms and trying to convince somebody's family.
Can you imagine Chip Kelly just going in there and like talking like how he talked?
I am with you, John. That part of it's brutal. You got to walk into a high school player's living room.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Talk to their parents. Like it's almost like you're taking them out on a date.
I know. All right, Jeff, last question for you here today. NFL related. All right. We looked at the playoff pictures pretty extensively today. Give me your favorite in the AFC to come out and the favorite in the NFL. I know this can change. It's only December 20th. You can change it, but just your gut feeling right now after week 16.
So I'm still high on the Texans coming out of there. I still think they can come out of there. But I like the Jaguars, and I'm going to say this. If the Buffalo Bills can't get out of the AFC this year, they're never getting out of the AFC.
They're not getting out of the AFC. They're not a good football team.
I know they're not good, but their Dragon Slayers are defeated. They're gone.
They're a good quarterback. That's it. That's all they are. Their defense is mediocre at best.
James Cook's good.
James Cook is very good.
It's James Cook and Josh Allen. That's it. Who's their receivers? They got some decent tight ends. I like their tight ends.
Their tight end's good too. Yeah.
Look, I think Keon Coleman should be a lot better than what he is.
Keon Coleman stinks.
I know he should be a lot better. Khalil Shakir.
He's like a healthy scratch every week now. He was a healthy scratch again yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Like I say, he should be a lot better than what he is. Same with Khalil Shakir. They're good players. I don't get it.
Well, they're NFL players. But they're not a great team. It's basically, can Josh Allen be Superman this week? And if he is, they win.
So I honestly was kind of laughing yesterday when James Cook was like carrying the team. I'm like, oh, look, James Cook's carrying the Bills. How come we don't get on Josh Allen? Like we do Jalen Hurts and Jalen only gave her 150 this week.
Guys, don't look now. James Cook's up to 1,500 plus.
He's going to win the rushing title this year.
Holy shit!
Good. He's a good player. That was a holdout. I was
by no means second best Cook though. Dalvin was better, but in his prime.
Dalvin was a beast.
Dalvin was awesome in his prime. But to answer your question, Zander, I'm still going to ride the Houston thing. Even though they barely beat the Raiders yesterday.
I mean, guys, Josh Allen's receiver, his top receivers got 684 yards. Khalil Shakir. They got Kincaid and Knox. Kincaid's got 5. This is like Carson Wentz in 2020 or 2019.
This is like Donovan
when he had
McNabb under
4K.
Andy Reid.
Remember when
like
Carson threw for 4K and his highest receiver was like Travis Fulgham or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this feels like with this team.
No, wasn't his highest receiver that year? That year, no one had 500 yards. I'm trying to think who his highest wide receiver was.
Probably Alshon coming in late.
In the playoff year, it was Deontay Burnett. Who was the other guy?
Deontay Burnett was in the league for 7 years and somehow still 25 years old. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. Okay. So let's find out who Donovan's leading receiver was. You said Alshon, right? John?
Carson. No, I thought it was Travis, though. Travis had the big 4.
All right. So in 2019, the year they won the East, Alshon was the leading wide receiver with 490. Nelson Aguilar at 363. Greg Ward at 254.
Okay. Now, what was the Fulgham year?
That was 2020.
Yeah.
Fulgham was on the team in 19, but he was on the practice squad.
He had that 4-week stretch where everybody.
He was the best wide receiver in football for 4 weeks.
Who everybody thought it was Calvin Johnson. Yeah, for 4 weeks.
In a terrible season, by the way. That year sucked.
Yeah, that did. He had 539 yards, and it basically all came in 4 weeks.
You know, I'll go on a personal level. I can't believe I kept my job during COVID, but
yeah, well, that was. I remember I was at that Pittsburgh game. I remember 3 things. Boy, what a stupid time that was. I remember arriving at.
You were getting tests every day. I remember.
Oh yeah, every day. Heinz Field. They had back then. They had all these protocols. You had to go up. You couldn't go up to the press box the regular way. You had to walk through the stadium and go up the elevators. And nobody's in the stadium. They had very few fans. They had all that social. God, we're stupid. We are a stupid society. We are a stupid society.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there, John. But I'm proud to say I have never once taken a single COVID test in my life. I don't even know what the process is. What are they, like, swab your mouth or something?
They
there's different ways to do it. Yeah.
Oh, it's nasty.
No, they poke your brain. They go up your nose with
it's disturbing. It's disturbing. I would
trying to coach high school athletes during that time is very tough. It was tough for them. It was tough for me. Anytime someone had a cough, they didn't play.
I felt for John going down to the stadium. They're swabbing his nose.
They did the same thing at high school games. It was nuts. I still remember we had momentum going when I was at Oxford. And, weren't a good team, right? But we had momentum going. We won 2 or 3 games. We were doing well. One kid got sick. Boom. 2 weeks. Done. The whole team. And we never recovered from it.
What a stupid society we are.
It was crazy, though.
We should be embarrassed of ourselves. And nobody talks about it because they're embarrassed about it.
Yes, it's so true.
And they ruin the youth of so many people. You can't even compute how much damage they did to a whole, generation of children. Taking away school and social activities,
and some of them are now like in their teens, and they are the meanest people.
Well, I agree with John completely on this, man. There's no doubt. All right, Jeff, good stuff, man. I got to run here. I got a couple things I got to run by John at the end of the show here. Appreciate you joining in, Jeff. As always, man, you always give us extended time. It's always great talking to you. One of the JAKIB fan favorites here, Jeff, is yourself, Jeff Kerr. Jeff, we appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. I hope you two have a Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, you
too, buddy.
December 22nd.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's Christmas week. God.
Yeah. Shit. I'm with you, John. I'm like, holy crap.
Jeff, for you guys, it's another week.
I know. All right, Jeff. Thanks, dude.
Yep. See you guys.
Thanks, bud.
There's Jeff Kerr joining us right here. Good stuff from Jeff Kerr. Boy, we went around everything today, John. We talked about college, NFL, playoffs here, playoffs there. A lot of good conversation today with Jeff Kerr. Appreciate him joining in. Make sure you guys follow Jeff at Jeff Kerr PHL. Boy, John, looking at this NFL, man, after week 16, it does feel like things are falling in a good spot for this Eagles team to make a run. They can't go too high yet. You had two bad opponents that you beat, but potentially finding their rhythm a little bit. What's your early thought on this Buffalo game this weekend, man?
Yeah, I think I mean the Bills are a good team. But I do think they're not nearly as good as their reputation would suggest. It's Josh Allen, and again, I mentioned he had to leave the game for a brief period yesterday with a foot injury. Had to get an X-ray, so you have to see how he's doing coming off that. If it limits his mobility, obviously a big part of his game is the ability to extend plays. Phenomenal player. I will say nothing bad about Josh Allen. Just a pain in the ass to deal with. And they do have some good players. James Cook has done a tremendous job. Very good running back. They got a bunch of good tight ends, not just, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Jackson Hawes even. They got a bunch of good tight ends.
Rookie, right? They drafted Hawes?
Yeah, I have to double check, but the offensive line when they're healthy is okay. Defensively, they lost their best player, I think, Ed Oliver. And they struggle defensively. They struggle. Christian Benford is probably their best player now, the corner. Greg Russo, I saw made some big plays yesterday. He's having a good year. So he's kind of turned the corner. They do have Joey Bosa, who they got in the offseason. So again, it's an NFL team. They have good players, but this is not the Buffalo teams of the past that were really close to Kansas City. They've fallen off a bit from that, I would say. But way above what's been going on with the past couple of weeks with Las Vegas and Washington. So it should be a much, much better test for where the Eagles really are.
Yeah, and Josh Allen did get banged up in that game. I don't know how bad it is or if there's anything problems there, but that's going to be a big factor for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, mobility is a big part of it with Josh Allen. But
and have they've locked up their playoff spot, right? The Bills? They're at 99%.
No.
Greater than 99, it says.
Yeah, nobody's locked it up because there's only two teams that have locked it up.
Yeah, because of the Colts, right?
And all of them will lock it up, if the Colts lose today.
Yeah, so this is it's really funny to look at, actually. Look at the AFC playoff picture, and it gives you like probabilities to get in. All 5 teams who haven't locked it up. Jaguars greater than a 99% chance. Steelers have the lowest at the 89% chance. Chargers have a greater than 99% chance. Bills greater than 99%, and the Texans are 96%.
Yeah. So it's pretty much locked in, but not official. So the Bills are going to make the playoffs, but and we basically know what that side is going to look like. Take out seeding, but I don't think they're the same team they were when they're at their height and battling Kansas City for being the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, and the NFC playoff picture is looking interesting. That's going to be. I think you're right. I think the Bucs might still win that division.
Well, I think they should.
And the Panthers, the Panthers are kind of an interesting team. Like, I think they could present some problems in the playoffs.
The Panthers?
Yeah.
You're just so Alabama'd up today.
No, I'm not. It's not about Bryce Young.
Bryce made some play. He made a great. That touchdown he was dead.
Alabama'd up.
He was dead to rights. That was a great play. Extending.
That's funny. John called me Alabama'd up. I feel like they've played some really good teams really close this year. No? They beat the Rams.
I'm rooting for Carolina because I'm going to see
2 weeks ago.
I always like to see new blood in the playoffs. So I'm rooting for them, but ultimately I think Tampa Bay is going to win out, and if they win out, they're going to go.
They beat Green Bay in November.
Yeah, well, they're playing much better. I mean,
they're such a funny team though. They got beat by the Patriots 42-13, and they got beat by the Bills 40-9. And then they beat Green Bay and they beat the Rams. like, what the hell is going on here?
Welcome to the NFL this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's the same. Sometimes you have good weeks, sometimes you have bad weeks. Basically, is what it comes down to. Let's see. We'll check out PFF. Who are the best teams according to PFF? Number 1, the Los Angeles Rams, which I would agree with. I think they're the most well-rounded team. Number 2, Seattle. I think they're a little bit overrated. Number 3, this one's a shocker.
Yeah.
Still Detroit. That I don't agree with. Number 4, Green Bay. A little high for me. Number 5, the first AFC team is New England. Not sure if this is updated with the weekend. Eagles are up to number 6. That's about right.
I think that's about right.
But I think they have a higher upside. It's Houston 7. Here comes the AFC teams. Houston 7, Denver 8, Buffalo 9, Jacksonville 10, Kansas City 11, Indianapolis 12. All AFC teams from 7 to 12.
Yeah.
And then the mighty Chicago Bears are 13, and the San Francisco 49ers are 15.
Cowboys.
One spot behind the Cowboys are the 49ers.
Chargers are 16, Steelers are 18. Geez, there's some playoff. 21 and 22 are the Bucks and the Panthers. Those are not very good playoff teams there.
No. So, that Lions team is going to make the playoffs next year.
I thought they were going to make it this year, but they obviously didn't.
Especially if they lose on Christmas Day, which I don't think they will, because Max Brosmer's probably going to be at quarterback. So
who are they playing on Christmas? Vikings?
Yeah.
No.
JJ got hurt again.
That's a tough team to watch. Like if the Vikings are on, I'm like, yeah, I'll turn that game off. I'm good. I've watched enough football.
Well, I like to watch their defense.
How many football games, John, do you think you watch a year? It's a tough question.
Well, since they have the 60-minute replays that take out all the bullshit.
The condensed versions. That's what I use. I love them. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch a lot more. So I try to watch all the playoff teams by the end of the week, the relevant teams. And I usually get to them by the end of the week before the clock starts.
Yeah. With college and NFL, I mean, I must watch 150 plus.
I don't watch much college football during the season.
Don't.
Just don't have time. Just I don't do much. That's why have to start draft preparation in earnest when draft season starts, but just no time to do it during the season. But yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart, who is a guy who, as I've said pretty consistently, Vic Fangio loves, and I don't think he completed a pass until halfway through the second quarter.
I think Vic's love of Jackson Dart is more based on the here and the now, because he's still a threat with the legs, and people haven't figured him out yet. I don't think.
Well, Brian Flores figured him out.
Yeah,
I mean, he couldn't do anything.
I haven't been
anything.
That impressed, John. I really haven't been that impressed with Dart. I know he's good in the pocket. He escapes and stuff like that.
He's great. He's great mobile. Yeah, he's great mobility guy. But
can he run an offense? I don't know.
Couldn't run one yesterday. I'll tell you that.
I don't know about Dart. And by the way, if Ben Johnson is able to teach Caleb Williams successfully to play the position, that dude's going to be a weapon. He's going to be a weapon.
Well, he already is a weapon.
I know, but I'm saying if he learns how to play the position properly, like he's done so far this year and getting closer.
He's got every gift you could possibly want as a quarterback.
He's got a cannon for an arm. I mean, that ball pops off his arm so fast.
Yeah, that touchdown throw was unbelievable.
It really was. I mean, right in the pocket.
And that's a great catch by DJ Moore.
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
Philly guy, by the way, DJ Moore.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great play. Yeah, he makes. I said that early in the season. He makes throws that nobody else can make. Especially when he's going to his right. That was just a deep shot. But when he's flushing right, he makes these throws on a line that are just unbelievable.
Yeah, really good arm talent. I'll never forget when I met Caleb Williams before his last year of college when he won the Maxwell Award that we produced with JAKIB. And he said to me backstage, because I was talking to him and I just asked him a fun question, like, where are you going in the draft next year? He said, I'm going number 1 overall. A year later, he went number 1. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So, and he was always cool to me. So I kind of like him for that reason. But he definitely's got some crazy good arm talent. Here's a super chat, John, from Pumper. What up, Pump? Please go sign the freak boy Justin. Who cares if he likes happy endings? Sign that weirdo like yesterday. I think he's
What are we talking about?
Justin Tucker is my assumption here.
Oh, all right. No, that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, leave it to Pumper. Yeah,
Jake Murray's been really bad, John. Bottom of the league bad.
No, I know. I'm the one who brought it up. 42 or 42. Yeah, he's not been good, but similar to, the Eagles aren't going to be the ones signing that guy, especially after New Orleans brought him in for a workout a couple weeks ago. Got a lot of shit for it. I don't think the Eagles are going to be one of the teams that are willing to take that kind of shit, especially in a playoff run. Just don't see it.
Yeah. John, feels to me like next week for the Bills game, Eagles stop the run in that game. Eagles going to be able to win that football game. I mean, I think they can win that game with that anyway, but I think that's going to be the key. I mean, on that offense, if you take away, James Cole, which is tough to take away, he's a great football player. That to me seems like the recipe to beat that team.
Well, yeah, I mean, plus you have to deal with Allen as well. So, I mean, and not hopefully, because I never like when somebody gets injured, but if he's limited because of the foot,
right,
and you take that part out of the equation, it becomes much easier to deal with James Cook. I was talking about that with you guys on the pregame show. All these number 1 rushing teams now all have the threat at quarterback. That's no coincidence. It makes it easier for those guys when you have to respect the quarterback pulling the football on the back end. And so you got a really good running back and you have to respect the quarterback is going to pull the football. That's a nightmare for defenses. Nightmare.
Yeah, and Josh is one of the best at it, no doubt about it. What do you make of that offensive line in Buffalo? They were pretty good in the start of the year. I think they've kind of fallen off. I don't know how they're ranked or anything like that. But what do you make of that offensive line they have over there?
Well, it's pretty good when it's healthy. I don't know where they are. I haven't started my Buffalo preparation yet, but I mean, right off, Deion Dawkins is a good player. And again, I don't know. I know he was banged up at some point. I don't even know where they are with him. Spencer Brown's a good player. So both of their tackles are sort of top 20-ish when they're healthy. They have McGovern is the center. He's solid. I wouldn't say he's great. And then Osiris Torrance and David Edwards are kind of solid. I would say the interior is good, not great. But the tackles are pretty good. One of the best tackle duos, I would say, in the NFL when they're healthy.
Spencer Brown's super good against the run, isn't he? I think he's really good against the run. He's the kind of the guy that they run James Cook behind a lot, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would think he's, generally right tackles are, better run blockers than pass protectors generally.
Well, he's gigantic. He's like 6'8", 350.
Yeah. Oh, he's big dude.
He's fucking huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Northern Iowa guy, I believe, from that tremendous. And obviously Deion Dawkins is a Temple guy, so people in Philadelphia should know him. But yeah, it's pretty good. I would say it's top 10-ish offensive line.
Yeah, it's right about where I thought too. All right, good stuff there for the Bills. That's going to be a good matchup coming into coming into what's that Sunday? I think it's a 4:25 game, John. Is that right? In Buffalo?
Yes. And it's already some snow expected. Not that obviously there'll be snow on the ground. There always is in Buffalo this time of year.
I think the forecast, we're still a week out, but I think I saw Elliott put out the forecast right now shows snow. Now we're 6 days out. That could change, but
yeah. But it's always that the only difference is, what is it during the game? There's always going to be snow on the ground. What's going on during the game? And again, more importantly, is how windy it's going to be. But it just popped up on my feed for some reason because I was watching part of that game. I was watching Red Zone, so they were going into that game, and every time they went into that game, Greg Russo was making a play. So it popped up from Next Gen Stats: 9 pressures against the Browns, 32.1 pressure rate, highest in a game this season for anybody. That dude was balling out yesterday. So he's gotten better. So they're a good team, but I don't think they're as good as they were at the height of when they were right there with Kansas City and just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah. I don't even think they're not even in my top 3 favorites to come out of the AFC this year. I don't think it's even with all their best competition out. I mean, I know people talk about Lamar's out, Joe Burrow's out and Pat Mahomes is out, but I don't know. Are they a better team than the Broncos? I know you don't love Bo Nix, but that defense is pretty legit. Now they got beat up yesterday, but the Patriots playing pretty good football. Jaguars, I mean, how legit are the Jaguars? They beat the crap out of the Broncos yesterday.
Yeah, I like the Jags because they have a good defense and a good offense. I think they're very well-rounded. I think they might be the best team that people know that nobody talks about. Like they're really good on both sides of the ball. And even their kicker set the record this year. So they're a good team and they got a good pass rush. And Houston does as well. Houston maybe has the best defense.
Yeah, they've only given up like 220 points this year, John. The Houston defense is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
So, the AFC is wide open because I think that the teams at the top, Denver's at the top, they can prove me wrong, but I don't believe in the quarterback. I'm honest about that. They have a good defense and a good head coach, but anytime you can't trust your quarterback, I don't like it. Same thing with Seattle, and I'm a Sam Darnold fan, but it's evident by watching Seattle, they don't trust him.
Right.
And I don't like that. And I see the same thing with Denver. They don't trust him. But I think they're right. I think Sean Payton's right. And
Do you think the Eagles trust Jalen Hurts?
I think they trust him, in their scheme, which is obviously limited. So it depends the way you look at it. They limit him in preparation, but for what they asked him to do, they trust him. If that makes sense.
It does. It's maybe needs to be explained a little better, but not a knock on you, but it's just one of those things that's kind of a tough thing to gauge. I mean,
well, it's very contextual, which
right, contextual.
People don't like in context. They want an answer. They want, they trust him. They don't trust him. They trust him in the offense they built.
Which has been very successful. So got to stick with it. I just don't know. I mean, they paid Sam Darnold 3 years, $100 million. I mean, what? Trust him. I mean, you live and you die. You live on the hill or you die on the hill. That's how I look at it. I mean, I don't understand. You play the middle is not my style.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten where they've gotten, so they're in a position, and it all comes down to the playoffs. And he shits the bed, you'll have all the Darnolds of pumpkin people coming out again.
Well, that's true.
And maybe
when you think about playoff football, what is the formula in your eyes? It doesn't have to be no team specific right now. What is the formula when you hear like playoff football in the NFL? Some people say run, defense. Like what to you is the playoff formula?
Well, yeah, run defense is the old adage. We'll travel. the running game and defense will travel. So you're better equipped to win on the road if you have to. To me, the modern game is about, more than anything else, not turning the football over. If you don't turn the football over, you're going to have the chance to win. You're going to be in the game. You're going to have a chance to make a play in the fourth quarter if you don't turn the football over. You might make it, you might not make it, but you're going to have a chance. What you can't do is turn the football over, and then the floodgates come. And that's why the Eagles play the way they do and have played the way they do. And when they tried to go away from it a little bit, it bit them in the ass. So bring it back.
So the Eagles are one of the better turnover teams in the NFL. I'm looking at these NFC playoff teams. Do you think the Eagles have the best defense of the NFC playoff teams?
Obviously, I can't see that. Seattle's had a tremendous year defensively. The Rams are better defensively.
The only defense I'd put above the Eagles is Seattle. And I think the Eagles on a given day, I'll still take the Eagles because of Vic. Like, to me, it's like there's the season.
Well, I'll take Vic over.
That's take Vic over one big game. I'm taking Vic over any of them.
Well, that I agree with, but I think it's more talent. I think, Green Bay had a better defense as well, but now Mike is gone. So that ships them. But I think the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Packers all had better defense for the majority of the season. And by no means am I saying the Eagles had a bad defense, because they haven't, but those teams have been good. Now, Seattle, I don't know how they're good, because I look at the talent and I say the Eagles have more talent. Now, Green Bay was just better with Micah, but now they're not. And the Rams are talented. But, it really has to do with their front four and if they can get home more than anything else. And the Eagles, still have some question marks about that back end.
Yeah. I think red zone defense is going to be massive in the playoffs. These are the best red zone defenses. I think this was put before week 16, so it might change. Broncos are the number one defensive red zone team in the NFL, only giving up touchdowns 38% of the time. Vikings are number 2. They're not going to be in the playoffs. Rams are number 3. Eagles are number 4, and the Seahawks are number 5. And the Chargers are number 6. So the Chargers on the AFC side. So
yeah, man, you hold people to field goals. You hold people.
Did you hear Robert Saleh talking about that?
No.
He basically got asked about like yards, and he's like, yards on defense is like way overrated of a stat. Like, I don't care how many yards we give up. I care about how many points we gave up.
Yeah, I agree with him, but and most, Jim used to say that. Jim Swartz used to say that all the time. Didn't give a shit about yards. But if you give up yards, you're in the red zone too much, you're going to get bitten.
Here's the quote. Hear the quote.
So there's a give and take. Sure, go ahead.
Robert Saleh eviscerates the stat worshipers. He says, I gave up on yardage a long time ago. It's about winning football games, keeping points down, and doing whatever you can from a schematic standpoint, play calling standpoint, to make sure that the other team is not in the end zone.
Yeah, I how many times I've said, this is not a statistically based game.
Yeah.
It is not.
You say that 3 times a week.
I hate it. I hate that so many people are obsessed with statistics. I hate it. It is so overblown. And so many bad statistics, even some of the advanced statistics, because there's so much context. There's so much with an unbalanced schedule. The comparisons to other teams are not even relevant, because you play such different schedules. There's 32 teams in 17 games. The sample size is small. You play these bullshit teams at certain times where you're going to look good because the Raiders are playing Kenny Pickett, or the the Commanders are forced to play Josh Johnson, and you look like $1 million, and that gets jumped in with all the other stuff that are relevant. So if somebody can come up with statistics where they take out all the garbage time and all the context and just put high leverage, anybody out there that loves data, if you can put together high leverage statistics and compare teams in those instances, send me that. That's valuable. But nobody does that I know of. Now teams do it, but they have full staffs and all that stuff. It is so frustrating. And you can imagine how frustrating it is for people like Robert Saleh and Jim Swartz and Vic Fangio.
And that's changed. We all know why. I mean, gambling and fantasy and all this bullshit completely changed it. But all right, John, your final thoughts here on a Monday edition, brother. We got a full week. Eagles had a little bit of a longer week because they had the Saturday game. What's the agenda real quick? And then just your final thoughts here on the Birds 365.
Yeah, well, don't even have the schedule yet. Presumably the Eagles, I'm 99%. They'll have off Thursdays. So they're going to move everything up. Tuesdays, they're going to practice. This is not official. This is so they'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, take off for Christmas Day. I believe Nick is going to talk today later, but that's not official. Via Zoom, and we'll be off and running for Buffalo week, but another crazy week. But this is for everybody. I mean, Christmas is always holiday weeks. This is every year, so they're no different than anybody else, except the teams that have to play on Christmas, which is even worse for them.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of shitty games on Christmas, so don't even worry about it. Spend time with your family.
Yeah, right.
Unless you don't want to spend time with your family, then use it as an excuse.
Exactly. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. But do what you want on Christmas. But yeah, that and stop worrying about statistics. That's my other last. Stop worrying about it.
All right, John. Good stuff, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. See you guys.
All right, thanks, J-Mac. There's Johnny Mac. John McMullen joining me right here on Birds 365. Good show today, everybody. Appreciate all you guys being here. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. All right, good show today. Good start. Boy, I'm feeling like the Eagles are in a good spot. I know people have been down on it, me included. There's been moments this year where I'm like, we ain't doing shit this year. I do not feel like that at this point. I feel like there's a better chance that we make a drive. Well, we make a run and get to at least the NFC Championship game than there's not. I mean, I mean the Seahawks, the Bears, the 49ers, Panthers, and the Packers without Micah. I mean, that's the playoffs. I don't look at this playoffs and I'm like, oh man. Rams are a great team, but we all know we hang with the Rams, man. We hang with the Rams. We play well against the Rams. I'm telling you, I think my prediction is it. Eagles are going to win round 1 versus the Niners. They'll have to travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. And then if the Rams beat the Seahawks in Seattle, the NFC Championship game would be Eagles-Rams in Philly. Eagles-Rams in Philly. Roll, I don't think we're going to have to go to Seattle, dude. I really don't, Roll. Roll, I think them getting the 1 seed is good for us. I've always said that because I never thought that they were going to make it through. I think them as the 1 seed is better for us. I really do. And the other part about that is now you need the Rams got to go, fly around the country. It's not even about the opponents to me, or the home field advantage for the Rams. To me, for the Rams, getting home field was about 37-year-old Matthew Stafford being able to sit on his couch, sleep in his bed, and never have to leave LA for the playoffs. So the Rams, if they don't get that and they got to travel around, Stafford's got to travel around. They're on the road. They're flying here. They got to go to Seattle. They got to go to Tampa or Carolina. I mean, they're going to think about it. They'd have to go. Rams would have to fly to Carolina or Tampa, one or the other. Either way, it's across the country. All right. Then they would have to fly back and play in Seattle. Then they'd have to fly back to Philly. I mean, you're going like this for 3 weeks straight. That's tough. That's tough. Now, what could throw a curveball in is this. If the Bears lose round 1 versus the Packers, because that's who would be their playoff team. Like, that's a divisional. Like, that's a tough game for the Bears. I mean, they almost lost that game to the Packers, if it wasn't for Jordan Love going out of that game. And that was without Micah, and that was at home. So if you look at if the Packers upset, see, this would be tougher for the Birds. If the Packers upset the Bears, let's say the Packers beat the 2-seed Bears in the wild card round, then the Seahawks would take on the Packers in the divisional round, and the Eagles would take on presumably the Rams if they beat the 4 or the 4-seed Panthers or Bucks, which I think they would. So then it would be Seahawks versus Packers in the divisional round in Seattle, and Rams Eagles in Philly in the divisional round. I think you're playing the Rams in Philly in the playoffs, either in the divisional or in the conference final. Now, that would be my prediction, is that crash course is coming. All right. So I think the playoff picture looks good for the Birds. I can't lie to you guys. I think the playoff picture looks really good for the Birds. I mean, I think it looks as good as you. I'm perfectly good being at the 3 seed. I know the 2 seed would be a little better, but I think the 2 seed is just fine, considering I think the Bears are a proponent to get knocked out pretty quick. I mean, I think the Packers could upset them in the wild card. I think there's a better chance the Packers upset the Bears in the wild card than the Niners or the Niners upsetting the Eagles. That's for sure. Yeah, and the Rams could see Shooter. That would be worst case scenario. Not worst case scenario, but that would make things tougher. Because let's say the Rams get the 1 seed and Seattle falls to the 5 seed. So now you'd have the same scenarios but flipped with Seattle. So the Rams would play. Oh, then the Rams got to play Seattle at home in the divisional round. Oof. Yeah, I think this all looks good for the Birds. I mean, you can win any game and you can lose any game. That should go without saying. It's the playoffs, but I feel like the Eagles are in a good spot here. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, I got to run. Not much Zander time today. I will say this: I gave some of my takeaways from the game. I did a Sunday stream. I did one with John and I did one alone, and I gave my takeaways. These are my takeaways. I'll give you them real quick from the game. This is from the game. First off, back-to-back NFC East champions. All right. Whether you love Jalen Hurts or dislike Jalen Hurts, whether you love Nick Sirianni or hate Nick Sirianni, those 2 men deserve the most amount of credit, okay, for back-to-back division titles. When you fail, the leaders of the team, head coach, quarterback, they get a lot of blame. Maybe unfair, but they do. When you go to 5 straight playoffs, when you win the division 3 times in 5 years, your coach and your quarterback deserve a lot of credit for that. All right. So whether you like Jalen or not, whether you like Nick or not, I don't really care. Those are the 2 guys that are the head of the snake of the football team. They've now gotten back-to-back NFC East champions, the first time since 2004 that's happened. So those 2 guys deserve a bunch of credit for that. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Shout out to those 2 guys. And I'd throw the third in there. Would be Howie Roseman for building a great roster. Second takeaway from the game for me was Jalen Hurts has steadied the ship. All right. He had a little lull period there, 5 games where he just didn't look like Jalen. All right. He didn't look good. I had fears that it was going to be the story of the year. He's turned that around. I know it's 2 lesser opponents, but like John said, sometimes it's just seeing the ball go through the hoop, man. Jalen is totally no more turnovers, looks accurate again. I thought he made that touchdown throw to Dallas Goedert was a really great freaking throw. I mean, it was a little bit of a duck, but that was a throw on the run. Perfect ball, put it only where Goedert could get it. Great catch by Dallas Goedert. All right, so I thought Jalen Hurts has steadied the ship from his playing perspective. Saquon Barkley got loose in that game. I think that's another big takeaway, because if there's one thing the Eagles have to fix or get going before the postseason, it's the run game. So Saquon Barkley getting going is a big thing for me. Defense, another takeaway, sound again. All right. I think the defense is good. I don't really have many worries about them in the playoffs. And then my other takeaway was Tyler Steen. I love it, brother. Don't let anybody back you in the corner. You got 8 fucking guys coming at you, and you're throwing haymakers up there. I love it. I love it. Tyler Steen said, Mama ain't raised no bitch. Tyler Steen fighting off 8 dudes. Savage. Love it. And then my negative takeaway is Jake Elliott. All right. I'm concerned about Jake Elliott. He's one of the worst kickers in pro football in the last 2 years. He was good in the postseason last year, so thank you, Jake. But I don't know, dude. I think postseason, you need special teams. Special teams got to play good. And right now, our kick returners are suspect. Will Shipley fumbled one, and he had another one where he took it out. He shouldn't have just let it in a touchback. And now Jake Elliott's missing kicks like it's his day job. So that's my negative takeaway, was the special teams. All the other takeaways were pretty positive. I get it. Not great opponents, but somebody said it to me in the post-game show. I think it was Chris 3K. It's not who you're playing at this time of the year. It's how the Eagles are playing. And the Eagles are starting to play better. So I feel good about where they are right now. All right, it's going to be an interesting playoff, guys. Only 2 games left in the regular season. You got the Bills, and then you got the Washington Communists again. By the way, Dan Quinn, loser of the weekend. What a bitch. James Jones, are you in here? Boy, Nick Sirianni might be a goof, but your coach is a bitch. He coaches like a bitch. He talks like a bitch. He whines like a bitch. Dude, that was a joke. One, it was a joke of a coaching performance. Takes the 3 early, punts it away twice in the fourth quarter, whines about Nick Sirianni taking a 2-point conversion. Dude, what are you whining about Nick Sirianni going for 2 for? Maybe take a page out of his book. He's won the NFC East 3 times in his 5 years. He's been to the playoffs 5 years straight. He's never won 4 games in a season. So I thought Dan Quinn was the loser of the weekend. not just in our game. I thought in the NFL. He was the loser of the weekend for me. Yeah, roll. Wolf Salmon 2-8. Who? Tanner McKay? Hey, you're going to see the Eagles' second strings in 2 weeks. You won 4 games, Dan. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and go back to the drawing board. All right? We'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, okay, big dog. Okay, big dog. Okay, buddy. Okay. Tommy, I assume you're a Commander fan. HTTC. Brother, your coach is a bitch. All right? Big sweater vest energy. That's funny. All right, guys. Love all you guys. Appreciate it, man. Hit the like button. Bird's in a good spot. Everybody should enjoy. By the way, let me put on my candy canes. Everybody should enjoy their Christmas. Okay? Enjoy their Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all. I don't know what our show schedule is this week, by the way. I got to let you know. All right? I'll let you know. I'll say this. There's going to be no shows on Christmas, right? I can't have shows on. But if it were up to me, I'll work every day. I can't have shows on Christmas. As far as Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas, I don't know yet. So we'll have no shows Thursday for sure. Christmas Eve, maybe we'll do like abbreviated. Maybe we'll do like an hour show each or something. And then the day after Christmas, maybe the same thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll try and do as much content for you as I can, all right? That's what I do know. All right, love all you guys. Birds 360-ish. Come on, man. You guys always hit me with that. All right, love all you guys. See you next time, everybody.
You've been listening to Birds 365.
the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate inside the locker room and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.